Star Wars: The Mandalorian, A Clan of Two. Written by Brooke Vitale. Illustrated by Tomato Farm. The Mandalorian was a bounty hunter. It was his job to capture whoever or whatever someone hired him to find. He flew a ship called the Razor Crest. The Mandalorian was the best bounty hunter in the galaxy. He was not afraid of anything. Even icy beasts could not stop him from doing his job. One day, a mysterious man known as the Client hired Mando to find a bounty on the planet Arvala 7. He told Mando that he would pay him in Beskar steel. Mando needed Beskar steel for his armor. Mando agreed to the job. But when he reached Arvala 7, he was attacked by creatures called blurgs. A stranger saved Mando. He was an Ugnaught named Kuiil. Kuiil told Mando that he knew where to find the bounty. Mando rode to the fortress where his bounty was being held. When he got there, he found that a droid named IG-11 was hunting the bounty too. The fortress's guards began firing on the droid. The droid fired back. Mando knew there was only one way to capture his bounty. He had to get past the guards. He jumped into battle with IG-11. Finally, Mando and IG-11 defeated the guards. Inside the fortress, they found their bounty. It was just a child. IG-11 raised his blaster. He had orders to hurt the child. Mando could not let that happen. He stopped the droid. Mando was eager to deliver the child and get his payment. But when he reached his ship, he found that a group of Jawas had stripped it of its parts. Kuiil helped Mando make a deal with the Jawas. They would give his ship parts back if he would bring them an egg from the dangerous Mudhorn's cave. Mando tried to sneak past the Mudhorn, but it was too fast for him. He tried to fight off the Mudhorn, but it was too strong for him. Time after time, the beast knocked him to the ground. Then, just when Mando could take no more, the child raised his hand. The Mudhorn rose into the air, unable to move. While the Mudhorn was frozen in the air, Mando stabbed the creature, defeating it. Entering the Mudhorn's cave, Mando retrieved the egg. He gave it to the Jawas, who returned his ship parts. Mando repaired his ship, thanked Kuiil, and took off. He had a bounty to deliver. Mando took the child to the Client. In exchange, Mando was given more bars of Beskar steel. The child cried as he was taken away. Mando took the steel to the armorer, who melted it into new armor. The Mandalorian had done his job, but he could not stop thinking about the child. He decided to get the child back. Mando returned to the Client's safe house and took the child. But as he stepped outside, he found himself face to face with an army of other bounty hunters. Mando looked at the bounty hunters. He looked at the child, and then he fired. The bounty hunters shot back. Suddenly, a loud noise filled the sky. Looking up, Mando saw the rest of his people, the Mandalorians. They had come to help him. Mando had to hide the child where the Client could not find him. Mando flew the Razor Crest to the peaceful planet Sorgan. The people there were warm and welcoming. Mando began to wonder if it would be a safe place for the child to grow up. In the common house on Sorgan, Mando saw a woman watching him. He thought she was there to take him in for a bounty. The woman thought Mando was there to take her in for a bounty. The two fought, but neither could beat the other. Mando learned that the woman's name was Cara Dune. She was an ex-rebel shock trooper. Mando and Cara had much in common, and they decided to become friends. That evening, two villagers approached Mando. They wanted his help with raiders who kept attacking their village. Mando asked Cara for help. It would be a challenge to help the villagers because the raiders had an AT-ST. The AT-ST was a giant walker once used by the Empire. Cara and Mando worked together to defeat the AT-ST. They made a good team. The villagers invited Mando to stay, but he could not. More bounty hunters had found him. It was time to move on. He and the child once again boarded the Razor Crest. Mando received a message from his contact in the Bounty Hunters Guild, Greef Karga. Greef had a plan to keep the child safe. Mando asked Cara to help him, and she agreed. They flew to the planet Navarro, where Greef was waiting for them. They hadn't been there long when they were attacked by the Client's soldiers. The Client still wanted the child. Mando, Cara, and Greef fought them off, but Greef was badly hurt. The child laid a hand on Greef. As Mando and Cara watched, the child closed his eyes and healed the injured man. Mando's problems were far from over. Former Imperials, led by the terrifying Moff Gideon, wanted the child too. The Imperials trapped Mando and his friends in a building. Gideon's troopers turned a flamethrower on the building. Fire streamed toward Mando and his friends. At the last moment, the child raised his hand again. The flames stopped, and then rushed back at the stormtroopers. Mando and his friends managed to escape Gideon's clutches. But Moff Gideon, who wielded a special weapon called the Darksaber, would not give up so easily. He would not rest until he had captured the child. Mando and the child climbed aboard Mando's ship. It was Mando's sworn duty to keep the child safe, wherever that journey may lead.